I really think we all collectively, as a species, need to emphasize and learn how to be nicer to each other. Nobody teaches you that. It's rare. They teach it to you in school, be nice. When you go to offices, there's certain standards of behavior that you're supposed to behave in, but there's not like an emphasis on kindness and just being friendly. And I think that doesn't diminish competition. Right. Like, you could be friendly and kind to people that you're competing with as hard as you can. That is also a thing that you find in jiu-jitsu. Guys who are just trying to kill each other all the time are like really close friends. Yeah. Really close. And, very competitive. Like, motherfucker, I'm getting you tonight. No, bitch, you're not. Right. Like that kind of shit. But friendly.
Well, because there's a safety, because there's rules.
Yes.
And in the workplace, the rules are much more nebulous. And what you do to get ahead, kissing a boss's ass, sabotaging a project, is that part of competitive, or is that over the line? Whereas with jiu-jitsu, you'll get called on a foul.
Yeah, sabotaging a project. God, imagine working with somebody and they're sabotaging what you're trying to accomplish. Yeah. Go to the boss and talking shit behind your back about your project and what you're trying to achieve. Yeah. Blah. That's one of the most soul-sucking things about jobs, the fakeness. Yeah. The office banter nonsense, fakeness. I just think as a species, just the human race, especially us as Americans, because we're so goddamn competitive, gotta learn how to be nicer.
I think it starts with manners. I think it starts with, as a parent, manners, they seem trivial, but it creates the paradigm for nice. Yeah. Just thank you, please, hold the door, don't eat until everybody's served their food. They're all little signals to people that you care about them and respect them. Yeah. And I think it spills over and it informs your other actions when you have good manners. Right. Look people in the eye. Yeah, be polite. And when people do that to you, you get a good feeling. When someone holds open the door for you or someone says thank you. Like, I said hi to some guy the other day. I was walking by him in the hallway of a hotel. I go, how you doing, man? And he just stared at me. And immediately I was like, what? I was angry. Yeah. Immediately, like, part of my instinct was like, fuck you, man. Yeah. But then part of me was like, that poor bastard. Right. And I went with that poor bastard. Like, oh, that's his life. Right. I just said hi. Right. I'm just trying to be nice. Yeah. But he looked at me like I was, almost like I was weak for saying hi to him. Right. Like, I was raised to like if I see somebody with bags, I help them, and it makes me feel fucking great.
Yeah, it feels good to help people.
Yeah.
When you pick up the people's bags, you feel good. Let's tell kids that. Yeah. Let's teach people that. You pick up the bags, you feel good. You hold the door open, you feel good. You help someone, you feel good. Like, okay, this is obviously, we all want to feel good, right? How do we feel? Like, there's moments in my life where I feel terrible, where I've done something wrong, or I've fucked up something, or just failed, and I just feel terrible. And I always think, when I do have that feeling, like, God, I fucking hate this feeling. Why can't I feel great? Why can't I just feel awesome right now? Well, because it didn't go well. And this is like the psychic reminder. This is that jolt of energy that's letting you know, like, hey, you went on a wrong path. You fucked up. You tanked this. You crashed that. You did wrong. Like, you're supposed to feel like shit, right, so that you don't do it again. Yeah. But conversely, when something good happens, when you help someone, when someone can't get their bag in the overhead because it's too heavy, and you help them and you hand it to them, and they smile at you and you smile at them, you walk off the plane, you feel good. You feel good. You got to teach that too. Like, you have to remember that, and you have to go, why do I feel so good? Oh, I felt so good because I helped that lady. Yeah. I felt so good because I said hi to that guy, and that guy said hi to me back, and we looked at each other and go, made some niceties or whatever. Yeah. And that's part of the joy of life, right, is those friendly, fun, nice interactions with people. But when you got your shit in order, it's easier to have those experiences. When you don't, my personal experience, when I don't have my shit in order and I've made mistakes and I fucked something up, it's very hard for me to enjoy anything. Yeah. I just go through the motions. I feel like, oh, if I have something that I fucked up, and then I have that terrible feeling, but I have to hang out with my family and my kids, I just ride it out. I just have to ride it out. I try to be real friendly and real sweet, but I don't feel good inside. I feel terrible. And I go, well, this is going to go away with contemplation, with understanding. This feeling's going to go away, but you got to ride it out, you know? And I know I can ride it out because I've wrote it out before. Yeah. But for some people, man, they don't know what to do there. Right. They don't know what that feeling is. They feel like this is their life. And then that feeling, if you don't conquer it, you get comfortable with it. You get used to it. You get used to failing. You get used to that terrible feeling. And then you start pouring booze on that terrible feeling. Right. Or pouring drugs.
People are like, Gary, this is all wrong. I'm nice and people walk all over me. I'm like, let's break it down, Becky. Here's what's actually happening. They're actually trying to manipulate people. You tried to give somebody some shit that they didn't even want because you wanted something from them. GaryVee, see you're coming to Dallas. Let me give you a ride to the hotel to save you some money on the car. Translation, hey dude, I want to pitch you shit for 35 minutes while I get you to the hotel. That's not kind. That's manipulation. Being kind is predicated on what the other person wants, not what you want to give. So when people say, well, I'm a nice guy, it's just not true. Maybe it's not your kindness, it's your inability to have conflict. It's your inability to be candorous that leads to you getting walked all over. But I believe the walked all over crew was trying to manipulate an outcome by giving something they wanted to give, not what the person that they were trying to get something from wanted. I really believe that. I don't think people are taking advantage of me when I'm making a decision. If I choose to be kind, there's no taking advantage of that. I chose to be kind. Too many people are fake kind. They do something with the expectation of a counter something. I think that's the definition of manipulation, not kindness. I hear it all the time. I always talk about nice guys finish first, and people are like, yeah, okay, GaryVee, but I get walked all over. I'm like, that's because you probably weren't actually kind. You had expectation to your kindness. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, when I'm in the concept of kindness, there's nothing you can do to take advantage of me. I gave you everything. I didn't want anything. All those people that shit on you and say you fucking look terrible, like, feel bad for them, don't feel bad for you. Imagine living a life where you go around social media and try to make people feel sad. Do you know how fucked up sad your life is? Don't feel bad for you, feel bad for them.
Do you respond to haters when they post on your, you do?
Not always. I mean, right now, the sheer volume between text messages, social, email that I'm getting is unsustainable even if I did it for 18 hours a day. But I'm I had 30-minute coffee this morning with a gentleman who, I wouldn't call him a hater, but was aggressively pushing back against me on social. And we had a lovely conversation about like marketing and how we see it differently. I get a lot of value. I mean, look, there's people that are making up stuff. So that I don't get a lot of value out of. Lying or mean hate. If somebody, you know, haters that pick on women and use sexual, that, you're not gonna, there's no engagement there. People that are like, Gary, you're a charlatan, like you're full of shit, what have you ever done? I'm comfortable jumping in and be like, hey, I understand you may not like the Instagram videos or I might come across too aggressive, but like, on that point of what have I ever done, I do think there should be a discussion of like, I've built 2 massive businesses. Like, and to that point, that might be a framework to a conversation. If the reply to you is like, fuck you, bitch, then I'm like, okay, this needs to move on. If they're like, oh, okay, that makes sense, I didn't realize that, then I'll come back and be like, hey, what about you? Like, what do you do? Like, I'm very capable of dealing with negativity because I come at it from compassion and empathy. I think people that are happy need to be louder. I wake up every morning and don't say, what am I gonna have for breakfast? I say, what am I gonna say this morning that's gonna get one person that's disenfranchised to realize how awesome it is to even be a human being, that if they start getting rid of their grudges hurt you, not the person you have a grudge on. Every day I'm trying to convince one person that life is 1 billion times better than they've decided because they were unfortunate to have life situations or, most common, cynical or pessimistic or negative parents and circumstances that made them believe the propaganda of negativity. The problem is people that are happy are content playing within their circle of the 50 people they're with. People that are the most unhappy right now are the loudest and most aggressive to have misery loves company and get them in.